So, ladies and gentlemen, it is so great to have you today on our Network in Action speaker series today. We are blessed to have none other than Miss Cheri Tree. Cheri Tree is a world-renowned keynote speaker, tech innovator, and a global authority on influence intelligence. As the founder and CEO of Codebreaker Technology, she is the visionary behind Bank, the Code of Influence, and the inventor of Codebreaker AI, the AI of influence. With a mission to crack the code of every human on the planet, Cheri has led a global movement reaching over 100 countries. Her groundbreaking work bridges the gap between humanity and technology, fusing personality intelligence, sales intelligence, emotional intelligence, and artificial intelligence into one powerful framework. Cheri has shared stages with icons like Tony Robbins, Les Brown, Robert Kiyosaki, and has been invited to speak at elite institutions including Harvard University, Google, GoDaddy, and the United Nations. Recognized as a top female founder, she has been featured in Forbes and named Innovator of the Year and Software as a Sales Company of the Year. Excuse me, I'm so sorry, Cheri. Cheri's message is clear, unlike my speech here. In an AI-driven world, influence is no longer optional, it's essential. She empowers entrepreneurs and enterprise leaders to unlock their code, amplify their impact, and future-proof their success using the science of influence. So without further ado, I introduce Miss Cheri Tree. Take it away, Cheri.
Thank you, Daniello. Hi, everyone. Very nice to see you. Thank you for investing the next hour with me as I do my best to help you guys be more successful, more profitable, and more connected. I'm really excited to participate with the NIA. We became strategic partners and completely aligned with the NIA. We've got several of our bank users here on the screen with us, so you'll meet them. Shannon Granger being one of your leading franchisees, adopting, and implementing with the methodology. And so I'm going to share my screen today in an attempt to do my very best to help you guys really understand this powerful framework, how it can help you get more connected at your NIA networking events, how to really add some fuel to your referrals that you're exchanging with each other, and of course, your ability to close more sales and put more money in your pocket. And to get started, I'd just love for everybody to type yes into the chat box if you're ready to increase your influence, your income, and the impact that you're making. Type yes for me in the chat box. We're going to get this party started. Like Daniela said, this is going to be pretty fast and furious so that I can end within the top of the hour. And I'm also going to make it very interactive with you. So we're going to use the chat box to connect. I think that's always fun when we're living in a virtual world here. So let me share my screen, and there we go. Okay, perfect. So this is me. Daniela already did the introduction. I can go ahead and skip that once my screen goes into full share mode. There we go. Oh, wait, hold on. It says, can you guys see my screen? Because I'm getting like a little warning sign on my side that it's
Yes.
not sharing.
We see your screen and we see the presentation, but it doesn't seem to be in presentation mode.
Okay,
But
now,
we could get the presentation here, so it
okay,
works.
now tell me if you see it now.
Rock and roll.
Okay, it does show it?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. So I'm going to introduce you to a four-letter word called bank. And bank is known now as the code of influence. And this became something that was very, very powerful for the reason here on the next slide, which is a study was done that said, hey, do personality types matter when you're out doing business, closing sales, building relationships? Does personality types matter? And I think you intuitively know that, but here's the data behind it. And they said that only 18% of buyers are going to buy from a salesperson, meaning you, the business owner, who does not match the buyer's personality type, versus an 82% success rate when personality types are aligned. So the very short story of what I'm going to be taking you through is I built a system called Bank that allows you to align the personality style with your customer 100% of the time, dramatically increasing your ability to close more sales. I'm going to take you on a little bit of a backstory. The reason that a lot of people struggle in sales in general, regardless of your profession, the business, the industry that you're in, is we've been told by Robert Kiyosaki, for example, the ability to sell is the number one skill in business. And this is very, very true. If you don't close sales, you're not going to make more money. The challenge is the word sales is very off-putting for most people. It feels a little bit manipulative or dirty. I want to replace the word sell with influence. And now look at how this feels. The ability to influence is the number one skill in business. So we're going to focus our time together on how to make you a lot more influential. But the challenge with traditional sales is that we've been brainwashed into believing one of the greatest lies ever told, which is that sales is a numbers game, right? How often have we been told that in order to get more yeses, we have to get more nos? For 5 years, I was stuck in that rat race of go for no until I woke up one day and said, this is actually the dumbest thing I've ever heard, because the truth is, in order to get more yeses, you actually have to get more yeses. So I shifted my mindset from go for no to go for yes. And I shifted my focus from studying sales to studying people, because that was the great secret that I discovered that I want to share with you today at the NIA, which is sales is not a numbers game. It's a people game. So it's not about how many numbers you put up on the board, how many referrals, how many people you're meeting, how many business cards you collected, how many leads are in your funnel. Yes, that is a piece of the equation. But the truth is, when you start to focus your emphasis on understanding the person right in front of you and how to modify the way you communicate with them, then making and closing sales becomes the easiest thing you've ever done. And I'm just going to show you a quick before and after. This was me, my first 5 years without using the bank framework. I really struggled. My first year, I made $700 in commission. I was a financial advisor. 5 years later on the Go for No program, I was up to 72,000, but I'm hustling and grinding. I'm burning the candle at both ends, 60 to 80 hours a week, feeling like I'm working for scraps. And this is when I realized something's broken. Is it me? Like maybe I'm just not cut out for this, or is it the system? And I discovered it was the system. Once I figured out how to crack the code in the system and completely rebuild my strategic approach to studying people instead of sales, I began using and building the bank framework. Everything changed. In one single year, my income using bank skyrocketed from 72,000 to over 500,000, a 7x increase. I want you to type 7x in the chat box if you would love to experience a 7x growth in the next year with the NIA inside your business. Type 7x into the chat box. That should be a no-brainer, right? The best part
Cheri,
is
you're
I went
still on
from
the first
working.
slide.
I'm
You're
still on
still
the
on
first
slide.
slide?
Yes.
Okay, see, this is exactly what I was worried about. For some reason, it's not
Now you're
sharing
on.
my
Now
slides.
you're on that. You're on the right slide now
Oh,
with
okay.
showing the.
All right. I've been sharing slides all along. So sad that you guys miss good stuff like this one, this one, this one, this one. All right. You guys are catching up here. All right. Well, I guess I can do it this way too. Not sure why it's not sharing correctly. Well, anyway, if I go back to this just to finish the story, within 3 years, my income was now over $1 million a year. And I became very passionate about sharing my secrets with other people. And it started to go viral. I got featured in magazines. This is featuring me, my income here at 2.9 million and climbing, 33 years old. Couldn't keep my mouth shut anymore because I knew there was other business owners, entrepreneurs, sales professionals that were out there like me that were working very hard, that had great products and services to offer their clients, but they were victims of the numbers game. So I started getting asked to share my message, and it just kept expanding and rippling. When you hear a good thing, it starts to expand. People like Tony Robbins, Robert Kiyosaki, Sir Richard Branson, and so forth started inviting me to speak at their conferences and train all of their audiences on the bank framework. And here we are with the NIA. Fast forward several years into the future, where Scott got a hold of this and said, I want all of the members of the NIA to get access to this bank system. Okay, so we're going to make that possible for you today. We have a special relationship, pricing, and so forth. But first, let me explain to you why this works. How is this designed to triple your sales conversion without you putting any more effort or energy into your business practice? Matter of fact, you could actually do less and earn more. Hopefully that feels like a relief to some of you. The reason that it works is because it's based in science. And the type of science we use is called personality science. Now, a very specific angle of personality science, which by the way dates back. I'm not the inventor of the concept of personality types. It's 2,500 years old and credited to Hippocrates, the father of medicine. What he basically figured out was that there's four types of people in the world. They're wired differently. He could treat them with medicine differently. And there's been dozens and dozens of personality assessments that have been created so that you could go figure out which one of the four groups you are, whether it's you're figuring out what color you are, what animal you are, what disc profile, what MBTI, and so forth, right? I was someone who also took a number of these different assessments and was fascinated with what I learned about myself until my fascination turned into frustration when I realized that not one single one of these assessments ever made me more money. Not one of them ever helped me close more sales or engage with my customer differently and put money in the bank. So I remember feeling frustrated saying, what's the point of taking an assessment if it doesn't impact the bottom line? When you work on full commission or your ability to close a sale, that's really the only scorecard that counts in business. So I said, show me an assessment. If it's been proven for thousands of years that there's four different types of people, I wonder if they make buying decisions differently. And I wonder if what makes one person say yes makes another person say no. And it didn't exist. So I decided I'm going to create my own. And I'm going to call it BANK, BANK, which was my acronym for the four buying types, the four buying personas. Instead of basing it in psychology, I built the BANK framework to be based in biology, spelled B-U-Y-ology, which was the science of buying behavior. At the end of the day, it measures what makes a customer say yes versus no. And I want to introduce you to that today. What we teach you here at the NIA, should you choose to activate and engage using the BANK framework, someone like Shannon, who's one of the top franchisees, is using BANK. I saw Moose on here. There's a number of advocates for the BANK system within the NIA because it's designed to help you crack the personality code of your buyer or someone you're networking with and take it to the bank, meaning you get yeses and sales conversions instead of nos and rejection. Now, when I was putting this formula together, what I realized is based on whatever your dominant personality type is, and you may be different than me, of course, but when you go talk to your matching personality style, one out of those four categories, chances are you're going to get a yes, right? So your sales conversion is typically hovering around that number, roughly 25%. But then I realized, wait a minute, when I go talk to the other three personality styles, chances are I was getting a no 75% of the time. So imagine all the time that you spend networking, collecting leads, getting referrals, only to not close 3 out of 4. That means that you're leaving a lot of money on the table. And this now gets reinforced by the studies that have been done independent from my company that said, yes, that is correct. If you do not match the personality style in your communication and your messaging to that prospective client, you are not closing the sale. I didn't want to gamble with those odds because to me, it's already tough enough to be an entrepreneur business owner. You know that. I know that. So what if we could rapidly accelerate your ability to increase your influence, the income, and the impact that you're making by a factor of 300% without working any harder? Matter of fact, what if you could actually work less and earn more? I want you to type yes in the chat box if you'd love to be able to do that. Work less, earn more. To me, if that exists, sign me up for it, right? Which is again why I'm here today and partnered with the NIA. So bank is designed to make you 300% better. Imagine, if you're Babe Ruth getting up to bat, being able to hit that ball 300% more. It's the difference between someone who doesn't make the cut of the team to someone who becomes legendary that we know his name in today's age, long after he's gone. So a factor of 300%, what I want you to know is that your customers or the referrals that you're generating here at the NIA, when they pass you that lead or that referral, you're getting a different personality type passed to you, right? And I want you to understand that each of the four personality styles are so different in their buying behavior, it's the equivalent of they speak different languages. So we can now start to imagine, like if you speak English and I speak English and we deliver our sales message together, you're probably going to understand, your customer is going to say yes, and that represents your current closing rate. But what about when you see like the red block? Let's say they don't speak English, they speak French. If you deliver your message in English and they only speak French, you're not going to close the sale. Matter of fact, you're going to feel like you just wasted time and it's frustrating for both parties. But if you had the ability to switch languages or switch the code that you speak in, you say Bonjour, je m'appelle Cheri. J'ai habité en France pour 3 ans quand j'étais petite. Enchanté. Now imagine the person who speaks French says, oh my gosh, you're speaking my language. There's a match, and there's probably going to be the close of a sale, which means you just became 100% more effective because you got a yes from not just 1 out of the 4, you got a yes from 2 out of the 4. Likewise, if the third customer speaks a different language and you can now speak to them in their language, like Romanian, and say, Bună ziua, mă numesc Cheri, am fost misionar pentru biserica mea. Wow, or K stands for Korean, let's say. You say, 안녕하세요, 나는 한국말 조금 못해요. That's just an example using languages of what we've discovered is there's actually a code of influence that if you're able to successfully identify which of the 4 you're talking to and then deliver your messaging in that code, the chances of you closing that sale skyrocket. Okay. So I want you to type the word bank in the chat box if you'd like to learn this code. Type the word bank in the chat box. Okay. This messaging, this concept is for those of you that want to be super achievers. You want to work smarter, not harder. Okay. You want to work smarter, not harder. And by the way, there's been a lot of different studies that have been done on bank across multiple industries. What they have published, they've come back and said bank is the only methodology in the world that's been scientifically validated to predict the buying behavior of your customer in less than 90 seconds. So I'm going to walk you through how this works. We're going to put the recording up in your back office for the NIA. We are one of your solution providers inside the system. And we've done a number of different studies in real estate and direct sales and so forth, creating more and more results. Okay. What I want to introduce you to now is the system of bank. The acronym BANK stands for Blueprint, Action, Nurturing, and Knowledge. And that represents our 4 buyers. Okay. The 4 types of buyers. I'm going to take you through them sequentially. And again, I know I'm speaking fast, so you can go back and watch this webinar in slow motion if you need. I just want to get it done by the top of the hour. And maybe even have time for a question or two. But let's start with the blueprint buyer. This is going to be your very conservative, very risk adverse, very budget conscious, inside the box customer. Okay. I use the color blue because they're colder to approach. Well, what I discovered, if we could carve them open and take a sneak peek on the inside to understand what drives their buying behavior, I discovered a set of values. These values are driving their decision of whether or not they're saying yes versus no to your offer. So when you carve open a blueprint and look inside, they value stability, structure, systems, planning, processes, predictability, responsibility, duty, rules, credentials, titles, tradition. Again, very conservative, very budget focused, punctual, and so forth. When you meet them networking at your NIA meeting, they're going to be the more formal type of person. They're going to give you a standard handshake, nice to meet you. Okay. Well, we need to answer the so what, now what. And for those of you that choose to engage with bank, we're going to give you all of the formulas on exactly how to alter your communication to influence a blueprint and get the yes outcome. For today's webinar, I'm just going to scratch the surface and give you a few pro tips. For example, if you're going to influence a blueprint, you got to be organized and professional, no exceptions. You got to need to be early and respect their time. Number 3, you need to give them a step-by-step plan from A to Z on exactly what they need to do to move forward. Number 4, you can't be pushy or exaggerate. So you need to have all of your ducks in a row exactly to deal with the blueprint type. Now, are they worth doing business with? Yes, because they can be some of your most loyal long-term customers, and the lifetime value of a blueprint can be very high if you can establish that trust up front. Okay, but it's very hard. Trust is never given with a blueprint. Trust is only earned. And these are some examples of the ways to earn that trust. Now, when we shift to The action personality type, the second part of the acronym of bank, we switch to the color red. Notice the action personality type. This is your mover, shaker, millionaire maker. Hair on fire. They act like they just drank Red Bull for breakfast. Fast and furious. They want VIP red carpet treatment. Okay. Very different than a blueprint. If you approach them like a blueprint, you're going to ruin the deal. Okay. So when we carve open their operating system and take a sneak peek on the inside, you're going to see a completely different set of values. Freedom, flexibility, spontaneity, action, opportunity, excitement, attention, stimulation, competition, winning, fun, image from head to toe. It's all for show. You know exactly who I'm talking about, the car they roll up in, the shoes they're wearing, the belt, the purse, the watch, and so forth. This is your action personality type. They have a completely different way of engaging with people, connecting with people, doing business with people. Okay. When it comes to greeting them, where the blueprint was the handshake, not the action. The action is going to be way more animated, high five, a lot of energy. Okay. Kind of the way I'm speaking right now, like there's a speed and an intensity about the action personality type. Well, so what now what? How do you engage with your action clients? Because the actions, when you compare blueprint to action, the actions are going to spend a lot more. They're going to buy your premium level programs, not your average level programs. Well, number one, you got to be cool and dressed to impress. They are judging you from the moment they meet you, as all four codes do. Okay. This one's just judging you on a different type of criteria. Display excitement and enthusiasm. If you come across as boring, like potentially a blueprint might, you're going to turn them off from the very beginning, right? You lost me at hello. Skip the small talk, get straight to the bottom line. Actions don't have time to chit chat. They're there to do business. They're there to close deals, or they're there to have a really good time, which leads to number four, have a sense of urgency. Time is money for them. The more you talk, the more you waste and cost them money, which is why they always feel like they're in a hurry. So again, these strategies go much deeper than what I have time to share with you today, but this is hopefully giving you a sense of why you've always known your whole life people are different. You've seen them behave and show up differently, but now we can actually pinpoint exactly who they are and what triggers the yes or no in the buying mechanism, okay, the buying process. Now let's move to the third personality style, the N that stands for nurturing. Notice I warmed this one up. This one's yellow. They're warm like sunshine, they're sweet like honey, and they've got a heart of gold. Well, we carve open the nurturing personality type. They have a completely different set of values, like God literally programmed them totally differently. They value relationships, authenticity, personal growth, significance, teamwork, involvement, community, charity, ethics, harmony, morality, and contribution. This person doesn't care about how much money you make like the actions do. They care about the mission that you're on and what's driving you to do the things that you do. When it comes to greeting them, they want a warm connection. Often it's a really warm hug. And you know that when you go to those live NIA meetings, there's that warm person who's greeting and hugging and squeezing and double fisting, handshaking. There's your nurturing type, okay? They require a completely different approach. You literally need to shift the way you interact with them, the tone, the pace, the cadence, and the words that you use in order for you to be impactful and influential with the nurturing types. So for example, when you're engaging with a nurturing person, you need to be authentic, transparent, and genuine. You cannot fake it till you make it with a nurturer. They will immediately dismiss you as not being real. Number two, you need to show them that you care more about them than you do about the money. It's not about closing the sale and putting numbers on the board. Number three, introduce them to your tribe, which also leads to number four, get them connected with people in the group. Create introductions. Oh, you look like you're brand new here at the NIA. Come in. Welcome. Let me introduce you. Here's the leader of the chapter in the group. Here's the people who make things happen. Here's the registration. Here's how we do events. A bunch of us get together and go to lunch or dinner afterwards and so forth, right? So you're going to be a lot more welcoming and inviting and kind. That's what the nurturer is looking for, okay? So again, they have triggers and they have tripwires. A trigger moves them to yes. I've put a few triggers here. A tripwire will move them to no, and it will make them absolutely not want to engage and do business with you. It's critical that you understand that related to every customer. And the fourth and final personality style within the bank framework is the K, the knowledge personality type. And notice I switched to the color green. This person could eat data for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, so I use Microsoft Excel logo as green. Or in the movie The Matrix, the computer code that falls across the screen, green. The knowledge personality type, if we were to carve them open, you'd literally see like a data center inside their beingness, right? They value learning, intelligence, logic, self-mastery, technology, research and development, science, universal truths, expertise, competence, accuracy, the big picture. They have a saying, an empty bucket sounds the loudest. Now they are describing, in that case, an action personality type that comes in loud and telling jokes and doing all that type of stuff. A K is automatically going to begin to dismiss that person as being someone who's not intellectual with them, not smart, potentially in business, and they become dismissive of that person. So what turns one on literally turns another one off. And think of them like having levers or gears. Matter of fact, when it comes to closing the personality styles, the K is someone you can't close at all because the K must close themselves. And most people have no idea how to set up the K to be able to close themselves. And that's why this person gets stuck into a loop of analysis paralysis and I need to think about it. And it stalls the sales process and prolongs it forever. In some cases to infinity and beyond. So when you're greeting or meeting a K personality type coming to an NIA event, the question was, how do you greet them? Should you even touch them? And I discovered, no, actually they prefer no touch. So this is, of course, my interpretation of how to greet the K. And of course, I'm being a little bit joking, but the reality is they just want to know what you know without needing to touch and bond with them. Well, so what now? What? How do you influence the K to move forward then? Number one, you got to be smart and know your information. I spoke at a conference with 5,000 people. A very smart gentleman came up to me at the end of the event and he said, excuse me, are you the creator of the bank methodology or are you one of their spokespeople? And I smiled at him because I knew exactly what he was trying to get at. Like, how could me, Cheri Tree, a little bit live wire animated action personality type possibly have come up with this concept? I said, yes, I'm the creator of the program. I said, hard to believe, isn't it? And he was like, you could see his brain was starting to smoke. And then he said, well, do you have a degree in psychology? Because again, he was looking to discredit me or to credit me. And I said, I don't. I said, that's why this works. And then I smiled at him and he was blown away, baffled. And the only thing he could do at that point was buy the program because he now needed to know how could someone like me create and invent something like this that's taught at Harvard and not buy a K personality type. What did I know that he didn't know that he now needs to know? So number two, provide them with the details, the resources, the documentation. For us, it's the white papers, the research, the studies that have been done. Stay logical in your approach and don't get overly excited or emotional. In other words, the N's and the A's turn off the K personality type. That's another way of saying this. Again, what works for one doesn't work for the other. So as I was building this whole system, what I started to then ask myself was, could I isolate each customer, each primary buyer into one of these primary codes, or was every human built with all four codes installed, right? Is every human part blueprint, part action, part nurturing, or part knowledge? And I know you intuitively know the answer to that in that we are all four. So this is when I took bank and said, well, then that means every person has a bank code. Think of a bank code like a PIN code to your debit card. If you were to go put your debit card into an ATM machine, it will ask you for a 4-digit PIN code, and you must enter it in the exact sequence if you want your money to come out. Well, now imagine that your customer has a 4-digit bank code, and you must communicate to them in the exact sequence if you want the yes to come out. If you don't, there goes the sale, right? And that's what all the data shows. So in my mind, I said, well, how many bank codes are there? How many people are we talking about? And there's 24 different bank code combinations. Well, then I had to think about the math, and I realized, wow, the probability of connecting and communicating to someone in their exact bank code sequence is very low, 1 in 24, which is roughly 4%, or 4.16 for those of you that are high K. Those are not good odds. And friends of the NIA, this is what I'm trying to say. And this is why Scott said, look, this is imperative that our members get access to the bank training so that you become far more effective and profitable with your networking experience. You're not there to just chit chat and be like, hi, Shannon. Hi, Moose. Hi, Dave. Hi, Michelle. No, you're there to do business. Yes, you want to create relationships, but you also want to convert. You're there to drive revenue. So how do we be a lot more effective? When I was building this, I thought, all right, I need to come up with a super amazing, powerful way that I can crack the code of my customer, understand what their bank code is, and get it right in less than 90 seconds. Traditional sales training didn't teach it at all. So I thought, how do I gamify it? And what I created was a little set of 4 cards. Okay, 4 cards. And those 4 cards were the bank cards. Now what I said was I came up with these 4 cards, and if you're watching me on the video screen right here, you can see I'm holding them up. They're physical cards, okay, just like credit cards. And I would literally hand them to my customer, and I developed a very powerful script. And I'd say to them, for example, I'd say, Shannon, hey, Shannon, do me a favor before we get started and just take a look at these 4 cards, and I just want you to sort them in order, top to bottom, most like you to least like you. This is going to help me serve you better and save us both some time. Then I'd shut up and watch what would happen. And what I saw happen was that the customer would take the cards, look at them, shuffle them, and hand them back to me in the order of their sequence. And I thought, wow. I mean, wow. Wow. Type wow in the chat box if you think it's powerful that your customer will literally in less than 90 seconds reveal their entire bank code and give you the exact framework of how to communicate to them in a way that leads to conversion without any form of resistance whatsoever. And there's 3 reasons why your customer will do this. Number 1, curiosity, right? Let me see these cards. I want to see them. Number 2, the topic on the cards is not about me. It's about them, right? In this case, I'm role playing with Shannon. It's about Shannon. And number 3 was I actually spoke all 4 codes in this process. And this is where I want you to pay very close attention because I'm going to deconstruct it for a moment, okay? And I'm actually going to look at you guys on my screen right here, okay? So when I hand someone the cards, when we're physically face to face, and I say, I want you to take a look at these 4 cards, imagine these like being 4 light switches. And if you can turn on all 4 light switches in the right sequence, a yes is going to come out, right? Like you just cracked the code. So when I hand them the cards and say, take a look at the 4 cards, I just flipped on the light switch of knowledge who wants the data of the cards. I then give them an instruction. I want you to sort them in order, top to bottom, most like you to least like you. Even my hand gestures are activating and flipping on and turning the switch of blueprint, someone who wants the rules, the process, the instructions. I then say, this is going to help me get to know you better or serve you better. I'm now flipping on the switch of the nurturing, who wants a connection with me authentically. And I end it with, and save us both some time, because I'm now talking to their interaction, who's like, hurry up, chop, chop, time is money, let's go. Flip, okay? So in a matter of less than 90 seconds for this entire exercise, for me to invite the customer to crack their code, them to shuffle the cards and hand it back, less than 90 seconds goes by. And what happens is they now reveal exactly their bank code sequence. And then if you follow our formula is going to lead you to exactly how to modify your messaging in a way that creates the yes and avoids the no outcome. Now, I want you to type the word bank in the chat box if you're like, this is genius. Okay, this is genius. Type the word bank if you would love to be able to crack the code of your customer in less than 90 seconds and have them reveal to you exactly how to communicate, how to connect, and how to convert in less than 90 seconds. Okay? This is exactly what we're talking about. Now, how many of you would like to get your hands on a set of these cards? Type cards in the chat box if you're like, can you hook me up with some of these bank cards? Because these bank cards became like very valuable. We've got literally people across 100 different countries using our cards, okay? Using them in appointments and so forth. And these are very important to have. When you're face to face with your client, we're going to teach you and we're going to do some expanded training. Matter of fact, I'm going to invite you to a special training next Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. I'll invite you to that. If you can't make it, we will record it and share it with you. That's going to show you exactly how to use this, what are the scripts to using this, and so forth. And we're going to make it possible for you to get access to the scripts and how to use it. And for today, I'm going to give you guys a really quick special offer to buy the cards. So let me share my screen with you. These cards are normally $50 per set. We also included as a bonus, one of our kids cards. For those of you that have children, grandchildren, it becomes a fascinating experience. We were able to crack the youngest we've cracked. If you're looking at the video feed here, this is my son. He's currently 5 years old, but we were able to crack his code as early as 3.5 years old. Very powerful, moving moment for mama. And we're going to include one of those as a bonus. So here's our special offer. And you have basically 60 seconds if you would like to participate in purchasing these. You can simply scan the QR code. Are you guys able to see the QR code screen right now?
So the Venmo is slightly cut off. If you could scoot it over,
Okay,
is
let
that
me just,
possible?
how about that?
We can. Just
Now you can
everyone
see
make sure
it?
you, yeah, blow up your screens a little. Let me see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the QR code. If you guys would like to order that, I'm going to give you 60 seconds to make that decision. And this is for you to get them at pretty much less than half price and no shipping. Okay, no shipping cost added. I'm just going to do you a favor for those of you that want to buy them right now. You can always go later on our website. You can pay more if you choose. But if you order them right now on PayPal or Venmo, $100 is going to get you a stack of 5 sets of cards, 4 of the regular cards with the words that you can use with your clients. You want to have multiple sets. If you're meeting with husband, wife, you want to be able to give them each both a set to use. Carry them with you. You want to be card carrying members like Shannon. She brings them to every single event and so forth. Okay. So this is your chance to get those sets. $100, and it's going to include the bonus of the set of kids cards. And that way you can use them with your kids, grandkids, or maybe people who don't speak English as their native language. Okay. If you did transfer that $100, please make sure you give me your mailing address, and we're going to literally put them in the mail and send them to you with the script card on exactly what to say using those cards. Okay, so it's going to include the script card with it. All right, let's move on now. And let's get into like the final segment piece, which is all right, what's the bottom line of this program for those of you that are here with the NIA? Does it work? Are other people using it? Is there any social proof to this? Matter of fact, I'm going to bring out Shannon at the end. Shannon, if you're able to come out here in a moment to vouch for it, is this legit? Do you use it? Are you getting results? You know, Les Brown said, this is a game changer. And I said, why? He said, Cheri, I've seen every sales system sold on the planet. I've never seen one as powerful as Bank. I said, why? He said 3 reasons why. Number 1, if you use it, this is absolutely going to strengthen your confidence when you're having conversations with your prospective customers. Someone gives you a lead. Imagine if they could give you a lead with a bank code. Okay, it's not just like, hey, call my friend Cheri Tree and picture your stuff. No, no, no. Here's Cheri Tree. She's an ANKB. And now you know the exact approach before you even have a conversation with me, right? Number 2, expand your selling skills, or AKA your influence skills. And number 3, dramatically increase your income, which is the net result byproduct of using the system. So what we have put together here for you at the NIA, Scott said, Cheri, I want you to hook up our members and give them access to your bank system beyond the cards. If all we had was the cards, like this would be like a fun little merch company, but we're not. we built this into a training and technology and AI company. So I want to show you guys what we've created and what we've built for you. The concept for you in business is, can you leverage tools, training, and technology to give you exponential results? And that's what we put together at Codebreaker. I'm going to introduce you right now to our two primary subscriptions. Like you heard, we are a subscription company. Our clients pay us every single month to use our tech stack to be able to help them generate a lot more sales and put money in the bank. You can scan this QR code right now. Michelle, if you're on here, if you want to post the link, and actually, let me just stop sharing my screen. I'm going to give you guys a link right now. Oh, Michelle's still here. All right, cool. Thank you, Michelle. Awesome. So this is our two subscriptions, $29 a month and $99 a month. A nominal investment, but almost a priceless investment. Our code breakers can no longer imagine life without it. I'm going to walk you through what both of them are, and I will share with you that 92% of our subscriber base chooses the $99 a month plan for many reasons, and you'll see why as I take you through this. The first question you're probably asking is, how do I crack a code with someone who's not in front of me face to face? Well, great question. We had to build that. So we built the digital version of the bank cards called Bank Pass, where you can now send a link to your customer, ask them to sort these 4 cards digitally into their preferred sequence. They do, they enter their name, phone number, email, and we are going to gift them on your behalf a $99 report all about them to them. It's a very cool opt-in lead gift that you can do with any one of your customers. You can do this with your existing database, all of your existing clients. You can literally email them out, offer them this free gift. The assessment itself takes less than 90 seconds, and what you're going to capture is literally priceless. We built the playbook for them, but that's not why we built the technology. We built the technology because what happens on the flip side, when someone cracks their code, you, the subscriber, are going to capture their name, phone number, email, their bank code, and our system is going to generate a playbook on exactly how to communicate, connect, and convert with that customer based on the bank code sequence. So we're going to give you the triggers and tripwires on exactly how to get the yes outcome with that person without any manipulation, using emotional intelligence infused with the bank system. Okay. So this is for the person who would love a play-by-play on here's what to say to get the yes or the no outcome with every single one of your clients or leads. Someone passes you a referral, let's crack their code, and we'll give you the scripts on exactly how to do that. All of that data gets aggregated into your private login portal in our Codebreaker system. So now you'll be able to log in to the Codebreaker dashboard, get access to everybody that you've cracked the code with, and get the playbooks. Plus, you can segment that data and you can begin doing email campaigns to them when you're messaging them, when you have a special promotion or offer, holiday message, and so forth. You can literally send the message 4 different ways and look at your open rate and click-through rate and conversion rate, how it alters because you're messaging them differently. Now, how do you actually message them differently? Well, now we're going to introduce you to our advanced subscription, the $99 plan. So the $29 plan lets you go crack codes unlimited every month. We don't charge you per assessment. You get to do them unlimited for 29 bucks a month. It's like the Netflix model. If you want to add in all of the AI, it now jumps to $99. It includes everything in the 29 plus Codebreaker AI. This is the first AI in the world powered by the bank system. Now you can use the AI in multiple ways. One way is you can put any content or communication into our AI model and it will interpret exactly what bank code it was written in. Whether that's from you or from your customer communicating with you, social media post, email message, blog, website, chapter in a book you're writing, and so forth, sales funnels. The AI will reveal exactly what code it's written in and how to influence that person's outcome. Secondly, we built a Chrome extension for the Google Chrome browser. You can install this, and now specifically using it on LinkedIn, I'm going to give you a quick little demo. Once you've installed the Chrome extension, as long as you're an active $99 subscriber, you can pull up any person's profile. So let's say we're at the NIA, I hand you a lead to a woman named Michelle, and you're like, who's Michelle? You can literally pull up her LinkedIn profile, click the AI button to crack the code. This happens to be Les Brown's profile. Okay, whoops. I'm sorry, I'm not in video mode. This would literally scan their entire profile in 1 or 2 seconds, the AI, and then it will generate the bank code prediction on exactly how do you message him, how do you communicate, how do you build a meeting with him, how do you recruit him, how do you sell to him, and so forth. If you're hiring, all of this is included in the Chrome extension for LinkedIn. Very, very powerful. And then the third part of our AI is our AI will write any marketing copy that you can possibly imagine or dream of, except it will write it specifically in the bank code of the person you want to influence. If you're building a one-size-fits-all messaging campaign, our AI will make sure that you have elements of blueprint, action, nurturing, and knowledge inside the AI. If you want to rebuild it and say, I want to build a campaign just for my blueprint customers, it's going to give you the exact blueprint detail of that communication. If you're like, give me one for my actions, I got a big FOMO promotion I need to do, vroom, it'll write the action promotion. You can send that to your A target customers. So again, the AI now will write any messaging for you in a matter of seconds. It's more powerful than any other AI I've seen, ChatGPT, Claude, and so forth, because it's the only one that infuses the bank codes into it. Even if you're using the other AI models, our version will create the modified version of those outputs based on the bank codes that you want to influence. Now, I want you to type the word AI in the chat box if you're like, oh my gosh, get me on this program. What's cool about our AI is our superpower is here to make you superhuman. People don't want messaging just written from AI. They want it customized and personalized to them, which is where our mantra shows up: make people matter, right? Know the code of the person that you're attempting to influence, and then deliberately go and speak that code. So I put a QR code up here, and I want you to go ahead and pull out your phones and scan it, or click the link in the chat. And this is going to give you an invitation to subscribe. This is the private link for the NIA. For those of you that enroll today, first of all, it comes with a full money back guarantee. Let me walk you through the reasons that all 4 codes purchase from the bank system. Okay. If you are a blueprint, we are going to give you 20 years of our framework where we've got completely dialed in. You no longer need to waste your time or money or beat your head against the wall and lose an enormous amount of sales conversion by guessing. Instead, you're going to eliminate the guess. You're going to follow the framework and the system that's been built for you, that's already been proven time and time again. And now all you're going to do is simply follow the system and close more sales. Okay. For the actions, this is going to be the speed of the close. I had a really cocky, kind of arrogant guy come up to me. I was making an offer for a $2,000 workshop at a conference. He comes up to me at the end, and he's a little bit cocky and arrogant. And he says, well, why should I buy your program? I'm already a great closer. And I said, well, first of all, high five, like, great job. He's like, I close 80%. And I'm like, rock star. He's like, so why should I buy your program? I said, depends on what the other 20% is worth. He's like, He sits down, pulls out his credit card, signs up. Calls me up 6 months later after going through the training and said, hey, Cheri, I want you to come speak at my company conference. I said, aha, I guess bank worked. He's like, well, not only did it take my closing rate from 80% to 90%, but you were actually able to cut my closing time in half. That cutting the closing time in half. Imagine doing half the appointments or half the appointment time and getting the yes. The speed of the yes is what makes this super sexy for the actions. You don't want to study a whole bunch of thousands of data points. You just want the bottom line. Can this make me more money in less time? Yes or yes, I'm in. 99 bucks a month is like, give me a break. How many sales do you have to close in a year to pay this off? Like, for most people, it's 1. For the nurturing person, you intuitively are connecting with people all the time. Now you know exactly why and how. This is going to build you a much more authentic style relationship. This is allow you to pull people in even closer, but also to be profitable. You no longer need to run a nonprofit. You can actually be profitable and be purpose-driven simultaneously. And our system is going to empower you to do that. Plus, Now you have something that you can recommend to all of your sales reps or employees or customer base to help them have the magic touch like you have had through the years connecting with people. On top of it, a percentage of everything you invest in Codebreaker goes to our Codebreaker Foundation, where we literally create a match program and donate our training and technology to schools and nonprofits that need it and can't afford it. Now, for the knowledge person, you're like, why would I invest in the system? Because we have access to science that's literally thousands of years old, but no one on the history of the planet has ever reverse engineered them and created them into a sales conversion methodology and technology until Codebreaker. That is our unique gift to the marketplace. We are the only company in the world that has been able to successfully do this, which is why we continue to win awards, teach at Harvard, United Nations, and so forth. So we have the science behind what we've done, the case studies and so forth. And at this point, it now becomes foolish not to move forward. The cost of not using the bank system is far more in time and money and lost energy and momentum than the person who uses the system. Okay. The special offer that we're doing for everybody in the NIA, if you invest in the system today, I told Scott, the owner of the company, that we would gift each of you our Kickstarter Pro Getting Started system. This is a $1,735 starting package. We will gift it to every one of you that does the $99 subscription. When you invest in the $99, then we're going to gift you our Kickstarter Pro. What's included in this, if you felt like this was sort of fast and furious, you're going to get 2 of our main key flagship masterclass trainings, 20 video modules each. It's roughly 90 minutes of content on each course, one course specifically for sales. What are the exact sales strategies that you need to execute in order to close the blueprints, actions, nurturing, and knowledge? That masterclass is included. And a 90-minute course on bank for relationships, dating, marriage, and parenting. Why? Because on the other side of your business is a real human in a real relationship with children, with spouses, and with dynamics with people. We're going to give you the best pro tips that we can to make you have a healthier marriage, a better relationship with your children, and the people that you care most about. On top of it, we're going to gift you the digital copy of my book, Why They Buy, and you'll get access to the digital version of that, plus our advanced assessment, which is 20 questions, point value to give you more insight into your bank code and the way that you're wired and operating, how to be more influential. And last but not least is my entire audio program of bank, 7 hours of audio. And this is for the person who says, teach me, train me, like I want to siphon this into my ethos, because if you can teach me and transfer the bank codes into my beingness, then I'm going to become much more of a person of influence. And therefore, you'll be able to get access to those downloads as our gift to you today. So this is, again, for each of you who invest in the $99 subscription, we're going to gift you this entire program for free as a bonus. And that's thanks to our strategic partnership with the NIA. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen, of course. What I'd love to do is open it up for questions, and I'm going to bring Shannon out here real quick. If you have a question, type it in the chat box or raise your hand and I'll actually call you out here. But Shannon, since you're one of the amazing role models and leaders within the NIA organization, I'd love for you to just quickly share your experience of the bank training. You loved it so much you went and got certified. Mm-hmm. Share with your own community. How's it working for you? And did you get value from it? Do you recommend it?
Absolutely. So for me, it made so much sense. And the idea that this was something that's so quick and easy to use. So I use it in every conversation. I was going to show, they make really, I have like a metal business card holders, and I have like 3 of these. So one sits here on my desk. I have one in my purse because it's easy. I have one in my bag that I bring to all my meetings. And I pull it out even in personal conversations. People find it interesting and fascinating. It's a great conversation starter. And so I just love the fact that if you just want to know, just ask. It's absolutely helped me close more business faster. I think my first aha is when I presented to a knowledge shortly after this. And I ended up sending them all the information, the agreement. It's a little simple 2-minute read, but I gave them everything they needed. Told them I could send e-sign. Well, this was a PDF. He asked one question afterwards. I answered, went into a meeting, came back. He had printed it, hand wrote it, scanned it in, and signed up on the spot. And I was like, wait, this is a knowledge on the spot. So it's definitely, I found really powerful. And then the data is amazing. As a franchise owner, I put this on our name tags. Every member sees each person's code. I also track my group, so I can tell you that these are interesting numbers. 48% of my members are nurture first, 19% are action, 18% are blueprint, and 15% are knowledge. And sometimes I have a room that's heavier knowledge from action. And so when we get started in the meeting, I'm like, I need someone that's going to bring a little more fun and excitement at the beginning of the meeting. The knowledge are great in the small group breakouts, right? But it's a little quiet, awkward in the room because I've got this higher percentage. And so it also allows me to inform conversations between people. Like I haven't quite connected with this person, or I'm like, okay, you're in action, they're in knowledge. Here's a couple things. And even though everybody hasn't been fully trained in it, just that little bit helps people go, oh, I get it. Let me approach them differently. So it informed so many conversations, and I found it really helpful. I really loved all the video training and the audio trainings in the Kickstart. It's really great to listen to an audio training, like if you're going to go meet with a blueprint, to hear those stories before you go to the meeting in any of the categories. It's just because you absorb some of that. So you just do a lot better in your presentations.
Awesome. Thank you, Shannon. I love that you shared this, and what great applications. I mean, Shannon's chapters are using it from the moment they even show up. They haven't even joined the NIA, and Shannon's cracking their codes, putting it on their name tags, and all of the members within her groups are starting to use it. Now you add the subscription to it, and now you can take it from I have an awareness of bank and what my bank code is to I'm now making bank as a result of using the bank methodology. And this is where we want to help take it from connection to conversion with you here at the NIA. And then it makes the membership an absolute no-brainer using it. So we had a few more questions come in. For example, Vanessa said, can you use this for hiring? Absolutely. I just spoke at the huge SHRM conference this year. All of the HR people using this for the hiring process. You're going to use it to scan the candidates. You can pull up their LinkedIn profile. You can put your link to crack their code in the application process. Plus, this is going to help you guide them and put them in the right seat, because certain codes do better in certain roles. And that's very, very important. Someone might have the perfect looking resume or Indeed.com profile, but you get their bank code and you might be like, there's not an alignment for our culture. Or you know what? This person would be perfect for our company. It's going to allow you to absolutely help pick the right candidates and collapse time. So yes. Would love to know if you have any other questions. We're at the top of the hour. If there's any other questions, otherwise you have the link. Let me just see if I can paste it one last time. What this would require is you simply would click on the link. You'll see our subscription page. The $29 subscription allows you to crack unlimited codes. You just can't use any of our AI. The $99 subscription includes all of our AI models. You'll be able to install the Chrome extension, start using it on LinkedIn. That will also give you access to the bonus, the Kickstarter Pro, which is a $1,735 package. You'll get that as a bonus when you subscribe today. And next Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific, Michelle, I'm not sure if you're still here because I know she was facilitating one of our trainer certification events, which, by the way, we're expanding and looking for people who would like to be certified in this. Potentially teaching this, earning an extra $5, $10, $15, $20,000 in a month, teaching the framework of bank. You can reach out to us and let us know that you're interested to learn more about our certification. So there's the link for the onboarding call. If you want to click that, go ahead and register. And we'll be doing a deep dive. It's a 60-minute training call where we'll be teaching you how to use the cards, how to use the tech, how to install the Chrome extension, how to start cracking codes, how to log into your dashboard, and just answer your getting started questions so that you can start getting results right out of the gate. So thank you, Michelle, for sharing that. Helen, you said, how can I get access to the kids' cards? On our website, when you're a member, you can pull that up on our store and simply just order them separately, and you'll pay shipping and whatnot. Um, I don't ship them out in this offer unless you do the bundle. So you'll just order them through our website, and we'll get you connected with that. Or if you have any questions or need help, you can just email support@codebreaker.ai, and our team will get in touch with you and help you facilitate that. Okay, friends, I'm going to wrap this. This is now your decision time. And I think the most important way to make the decision is what costs more: an investment into this subscription that can help you convert more, close more sales, save a lot more time, or the opportunity cost of continuing to guess and not know and potentially miss the mark. I look forward to working with you. We have a very special relationship with the NIA. You can also find when you log in, and we'll include this in the training next week. We have worked with Daniello and the tech team to incorporate the bank codes into your back office as well, so that you can add your bank code to your profile and your member records when you're passing leads and so forth. You're going to start to see this become a lot more dynamic as the two companies completely and totally align to support each other. So very nice to meet each of you. I wish you the best of luck. I look forward to seeing you on next week's training call for those of you that want to do a deeper dive. And in the meantime, good luck with your networking and prospecting, and may it be a profitable venture for you. Thanks everybody for coming. Take it to the bank.
Thank you so much, Cheri. That was awesome. And we look forward to having all of you on our next Sales Mastery and our speaker series. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and also showcase a couple things that we've done with Bank. If you'd like to crack your own code on Network in Action, go on over to your profile, click Crack Your Code. And here you could go through the card exercise, sort your values in the order that you wish, hit Submit, and on Submit, your bank code will be posted on your profile page. Do stick around check out our Network with the Nations on the 6th, and on the 20th, we're going to have Jessica DeFeo, marketing systems to increase your conversion rates, and our focus forum. We will have Joe Applebaum again, so look forward to that. And thank you very much once again for being with us. Cheri, you're a rock star, man. You're absolutely incredible. Thank you for doing this again. And we look forward to seeing you guys on the next meeting. Have a great day.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.